So on Friday, Bethesda released a statement that basically confirms the rumours that have been swirling around the industry for the last few weeks, that Asher Sharma has come in and told Bethesda to double down on the IP that they're best known for, the Elder Scrolls and Fallout. So firstly, they say that Fallout is one of our biggest priorities today. Fallout 5 remains our long-range destination, and we have multiple Fallout projects in active development right now. They talk about Fallout 76, but the main thing that people are talking about is this bit here. We also know many players want to revisit previous Fallout experiences. Whilst we're not announcing any dates today, we have been working on remasters for both Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. So that's the first big bit of news. They then talk about studio collaboration. They are teaming up with Obsidian Entertainment once again to work on a new Fallout project. The rumours that had been going around was that there was a Fallout project that was greenlit for Obsidian. If you don't know, they were the team that originally worked on Fallout New Vegas, which is one of the most popular Fallout games. So they say that the road ahead, Fallout 5 is currently in pre-production. The Elder Scrolls 6 is our primary development focus today, with the majority of our team currently working on the next chapter of the franchise. And that was shared as well by Asher herself, saying that Todd Howard has just shared plans for the Fallout, the Elder Scrolls, and Starfield franchises. All of that stuff there that we just read is basically confirmation of all of the rumours that have been going around for the past few weeks, that Asher, who is the new CEO of Xbox, has been looking at the studios and essentially come to the same conclusion as a lot of us have come to, which is the last Elder Scrolls game came out in 2011. The last Fallout game came out in 2015. These are huge IP. Why are we not releasing more of them? And to be honest, I think this is the right move. I think she's been brought in to shake things up at Xbox. She's been brought in to improve the frankly dire situation that the brand is in. And I think this is the way to do it, or one of the few ways to start getting that wheel rolling again. So really quickly before we carry on, if you're enjoying this type of content, you'll see that I've uploaded a fair few videos now. I try to talk about my opinions on the games industry, on any new stuff that's come out in the week. So if you're interested in seeing more of that kind of content, then please do like the video. Please subscribe as well. Something that's really interesting, which was floated around even before this statement, was an idea by Ryan McCaffrey, who is at IGN. I think he mentioned this on Podcast Unlocked. And his theory was that they were going to try and copy the Call of Duty model for the Elder Scrolls and for Fallout. So for those of you who don't know how Call of Duty manages to release every year, they have primarily 3 studios working on Call of Duty. They have Infinity Ward, they have Treyarch, and they have Raven Software. And each of them takes turns to release a game, which means that each of them has 3 years to create their Call of Duty game. So his idea was that they were going to have BGS, which is Bethesda Game Studios, as well as Obsidian, which is confirmed by this statement, as well as In Exile, which is one of the other developers under the Bethesda umbrella. By giving each developer 6 years to develop either a Fallout game or an Elder Scrolls game, it would mean that one of the 2 franchises would have a game released every 2 years. That's significantly better than going 11 years, which we've gone so far, without a Fallout game. Going 15 years without an Elder Scrolls game. Now, I'm going to be upfront because I have not played a lot of Bethesda games. I've played Starfield, I've played some Fallout 4, and I've played some Oblivion Remastered. It's not that I'm not a fan of Bethesda games, it's literally just the fact that by the time I got an Xbox in 2012, Skyrim had already came out. Fallout 4 kind of came and went for me, and I actually delved into it for the first time after the first season of the Fallout TV show, which I really, really enjoyed. I just fell off it, to be honest with you, but I didn't not enjoy it. And then Oblivion Remastered, I gave a go as well. I couldn't get hooked on that. So I've played those 3 games. But also, I was at Gamescom in 2023, where they were showing Starfield. They had a big auditorium in the Xbox section, and we went in to watch the gameplay demo of Starfield. It was the first 20-25 minutes of the game, and by pure chance, the group that we went into this auditorium with happened to be the group that were in there when Todd Howard was in there. I don't think he was in there for anyone else. I think it was just our group. So we had Todd Howard in there whilst we were watching the Starfield gameplay demo for the first time. And then after the gameplay demo, I'm pretty sure we were the only group that got this. He came onto the mic and said that he had a short teaser for the Fallout TV show, which was season 1 at the time. So yeah, they showed a little teaser for the Fallout TV show, which was sick. So even though I haven't played that many Bethesda games myself, I do feel that I have, you know, some investment in Bethesda. And when you actually look at the IP that Sony have, there aren't that many, really. They're not drowning in IP. It's just a few key IP or intellectual properties that they really, really do a good job with and people love. You think about like Last of Us, Spider-Man, God of War, games like that people absolutely love. And it's only a handful of those franchises that they have. And that alone sells the consoles. So I think if Xbox can lock in with Bethesda, I mean, we don't know whether they're going to be exclusive, so that's a whole other thing. But if Xbox can lock in with Bethesda and, you know, get a Fallout or Elder Scrolls game out every few years, even every 3 years, I think that would go a long way. Obviously, some of these franchises are guilty of the same thing as Bethesda. You look at Naughty Dog, they haven't released a game properly that's not a remake or a remaster since The Last of Us 2, which came out in 2020. But on the other side of the coin, they've got stuff like Spider-Man. Spider-Man, the first one, came out in 2018. So since 2018, which is 8 years ago, they've released Spider-Man 1, Miles Morales, which is kind of like a mini game in itself, and Spider-Man 2. I can understand people's arguments that doing stuff like this, having the studios all working on this, being like a content factory, the same way that Call of Duty is, it does mean that there will be less games and experiences coming out in the vein of like Pentiment or Avowed. But honestly, I can see why Asher has made this decision. You look at games like Pentiment, like Avowed, like they had their fans, but they didn't make a splash the same way that a new Last of Us game would make a splash or a new Spider-Man game would make a splash. And I think a new Fallout game would make a splash, assuming that it's good. A new Elder Scrolls game definitely would make a splash. That's the logic in making this decision. And to me, it makes complete sense why they've done that. I can totally understand why people would think that this move would potentially squash the creative freedom and the ability to make smaller experiences like a Pentiment, for example. Xbox, up until now, has allowed the studios to have that creative freedom and to make smaller games, smaller experiences like a Pentiment or like a Grounded. But to be like harsh and to be honest, look at where it's got them. It's got them here, which is a pretty desperate situation where they need to turn the ship around. And I think the way that they've been currently going isn't the way that they need to be going forward. And I think that's the reason for this decision, to be honest. I think right now Xbox feels too bloated, in my opinion. I think fewer studios, spread thinner, doing lots of different sort of more minor experiences. It's not working. I think it makes more sense for the studios to come together, work on some of the big IPs, get games out relatively frequently. So we've got a new Fallout game every few years, a new Elder Scrolls game every few years to keep it in the zeitgeist. Because, as I say, it's been far too long since these games have had a sequel. And I think that is why Asher Sharma has made the right choice here, I think. Yes, it will upset people, but I think ultimately, for the good of the brand, it's the right choice. I'd love to hear what you think as well. If you completely disagree with me and Pentiment is your favourite game, then let me know. If you think I'm right and you agree with what Asher Sharma's doing, let me know that as well. Please do comment down below. I will genuinely be interested to hear what you think about this. But in the meantime, I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.